kids, it's story time with Aunt Molly. How's everybody doing? I am trying very hard to stay motivated and having a little bit of difficulty with procrastination, which means kind of putting things off. I don't know if any of you guys are feeling like that, but I'm kind of getting there. So speaking of putting things off, I'm kind of late with story time tonight, but let's go ahead and do that. I may be the only one listening or watching to this, or it may be a way to, you know, save my voice and likeness for future generations. Who knows? Who knows what it all is? It doesn't matter. What matters is that you and I are going to spend quality time together reading a little story together. That is all. So without further ado, you know what? I'm going to wear my lace collar again because I really like it. I think it's pretty. And I've never worn it. Well, I took it. You know what? If I can find it. I took my graduation picture for college at Olin Mills. I took it in this collar, and I haven't worn it since. I should have worn it for my wedding. Wouldn't that have been pretty? Yeah. But anyway, I didn't even think about it. It really is beautiful. I should have worn it. So silly. That's what happens when you have too much stuff, right? Sorry, my hair is in my face. Okay, so glasses, check, check, right? Okay. Raggedy's going to help us again tonight, okay? Sorry, my nose itches. Okay, are you ready? All right, so without further ado, more of The Shadow by Hans Christian Andersen, okay? So, let's see. Let's try. So, we shall travel as comrades. And so they traveled. The shadow was master, and the master was the shadow, and they drove with each other. They rode and walked together, side by side, before and behind. Just as the sun was, the shadow always took care to keep itself in its master's place. Now, the learned man didn't think much about that. He was a very kind-hearted man, and particularly mild and friendly, and so he said one day to the shadow, "As we have now become companions, and in this way have grown up together from childhood, shall we not drink thou together? It is more familiar." Remember how we talked about their language and how thou was the more familiar, I think, if I remember this right. "You are right," said the shadow, who was now the proper master. "It is said in a very straightforward and well-meant manner. You, as a learned man, certainly know how strange nature is. Some persons cannot bear to touch gray paper, or they become ill. Others shiver in every limb if one rub of a pane of glass is with a nail, like fingernails on a chalkboard. I have just such a feeling on hearing you say thou to me. I feel myself as if pressed to the earth in my first situation with you. You see, that is a feeling, that is not a pride. I cannot allow you to say thou to me, but I will willingly say thou to you, so it is half done." So the shadow said thou to its former master. "This is rather too bad," thought he, "that I must say you and he say thou," but he was obliged to put up with it. So they came to a watering place where there were many strangers, and amongst them was a princess who was troubled with seeing too well, and that was so alarming. She directly observed that the stranger who had come was quite a different sort of person than all the others. "He has come here in order to get his beard to grow," they say, "but I see the real cause. He cannot cast a shadow." She had become inquisitive, and so she entered into a conversation directly with the strange gentleman on their promenades. That means when they go on a walk. As the daughter of a king, she need not stand upon trifles, so she said, "Your complaint is that you cannot cast a shadow." "Your Royal Highness must be improving considerably," said the shadow. "I know your complaint is that you see too clearly, but it has decreased and you are cured. I just happen to have a very unusual shadow. Do you not see that person who always goes with me? The other persons have a common shadow, but I do not like what is common to all. We give our servants finer cloth for their livery than we do ourselves use, and so I had my shadow trimmed up into a man. Yes, you see that I have given him a shadow. It is somewhat expensive, but I'd like to have something for myself." "What?" thought the princess. "Should I really be cured? These baths are the first in the world. In our time, water has wonderful powers, but I shall not leave the place, for now it begins to be amusing here. I am extremely fond of that stranger. Would that his beard would not grow, for in that case he will leave us." In the evening, the princess and the shadow danced together in the large ballroom. She was light, but he was still lighter. She had never had such a partner in the dance. She told him from what land she came, and he knew that land, and he'd been there, but then she was not at home. He had peeped in at the window above and below. He had seen both one and the other, so he could answer the princess and make insinuations, so that she was quite astonished. He must be the wisest man in the whole world. She felt such a respect for what he knew, so that when they again danced together, she fell in love with him, and that the shadow could remark, for she almost pierced him through with her eyes. So they danced one more together. Sorry, my nose itches. I know, don't touch my face. I heard you. I heard that. Don't touch my face. And the shadow could remark, for she almost pierced him through with her eyes. So they danced once more together, and she was about to declare herself, but she was discreet. She thought of her country and kingdom, and of the many persons she would have to reign over. "He is a wise man," said she to herself. "It is well, and he dances delightfully. That is also good. But has he solid knowledge? That is just as important. He must be examined." So she began by degrees to question him about the most difficult things she could think of, and which she herself could not have answered. So the shadow made a strange face. "You cannot answer these questions?" said the princess. "They belong to my childhood's learning," said the shadow. "I really believe my shadow by the door there can answer them." "Your shadow?" said the princess. "That would indeed be marvelous. I will not say for certainty that he can," said the shadow, "but I think so. He has now followed me for so many years and listened to my conversation, I should think it possible. But your royal highnesses will permit me to observe that he is so proud of passing himself off for a man that when he is to be in a proper humor, and he must be so to answer well, he must be treated quite like a man." "Oh, I like that," said the princess. And there I'm going to leave you, because honestly, I'm tired of this. I'm tired from not doing hardly anything all day but making masks. And I miss everybody, and I'm going to wrap it up because I want to watch a movie before I go to bed. But I want everybody to know that I love them. I miss them. Mwah. And good night. Good night, everybody. We'll do some more of the shadow tomorrow. Let me just sneak a peek and see. This is a long story, isn't it? Hold on one second. 2 more pages. So maybe we'll finish tomorrow night, okay? We'll finish the shadow tomorrow night, and then I'll find you something else to read, all right? Okay, good night, everybody. Mwah.